talking about something that just really enrages you. What a great topic for Stony
Right.
today.
Yeah, no shit.
Something that just absolutely makes your skin crawl
Holidays.
in more ways than one, but big holiday, you know?
Holidays in general.
And here's to the beginning.
I'll drink to that.
Why, Johnny Ringo.
Hello, I'm Johnny Cash.
I know exactly what I'm doing, and I can change it at any time.
I'm your huckleberry.
An outlaw loose and running came the whisper from each lip, and he's here to do some business with the big iron on his hip.
Incoming the Rambling Podcast, with your hosts, Conway Titty, and Stoney Robbins.
So loud.
Hi, everybody. Hi. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Ramblin' Podcast. I'm left to my own devices today, so I chose the intro.
Perfect.
I'm your host, Stoney Robbins, joined as always by my enigmatic host, Conway Titty. Conway, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing wonderful. I bet you're doing amazing right now.
Of course.
That
I'm
was
always doing good.
gluggy. That was gluggy as fuck.
Glug, glug, glug.
Yeah, that was very gluggy as fuck. As fluck?
As Fluck. Yeah,
Gluggy as
just
fluck.
just so all the users know, users. That's not what I meant.
The listeners?
Just so all the listeners know, you're gonna hear that throughout the entire fucking podcast because
Jesus.
I just don't give a shit anymore. I'm not muting my mic to take a hit. I don't care. It's
Having
my
a rough day.
podcast.
You're
Go
having a rough
fuck
day today.
yourself.
Stoney's having a rough day today.
But today, we're gonna tackle something else that's just gonna get me fired up and get my gears a grinding.
Your
We're
gears,
gonna
your gears grinding.
My gears are grinding. And we're gonna talk about big holiday.
Probably,
Big fucking holiday.
I would say out of every episode we've done this year, this is my favorite one that I cannot wait to talk about with you because we have made so many jokes about it this entire year, and it's time. It
It
is
is
now
time.
time. It is
It is
time.
time for big holiday to understand why they're such fucking shit fucks.
Okay. More potion brewing over there.
Yep, just making some potions over here. All right, so everyone knows big holiday,
And
right?
yeah, can you explain what your premise of Big Holiday
Okay,
is?
so for those of you who don't know, the idea of a big whatever, it generally is used as like a term for like whoever's at the top of the food chain.
Like
So like
corporations,
when you're thinking of like big animation, Disney, or you think of like big box store, you think Walmart. It's
Big
stuff like
Diamond.
that. Big Diamond, you think of
Yeah,
every jewelry company or
yeah.
anyone who owns a diamond mine or whoever's pulling the strings behind the curtain,
It's
which
capitalism.
causes it's capitalism. That's all big is.
Yeah.
The big whatever, that's capitalism at work. So like
Yes.
Big Diamond, you think about that, all the people being led to believe that this fucking chunk of rock means something just because someone said it does, and so now we
Hundreds
all
of
have
years
that.
ago.
Yeah, it's the whole like before the 19th century, lobster wasn't considered fucking anything
Yeah,
luxury. It was
considered
considered street
a
food.
peasant meal. Yeah,
It was a
a,
peasant
a
meal because
peasant
no
meal.
everyone was like, "Why do you want to eat these sea bugs?"
And it wasn't until the 1950s did it really take off of 1940s and 50s where lobster was like a
Well, no, it was in the early 1900s, like because it
yeah,
started becoming like a thing that was it's stopped being such a novelty when they started marketing it. But
yeah.
it's the same thing like any a lot of things that we see like as a society as like, oh, that's something that is glamorized or that's something
Name
that rich
brands.
people only do. And it's like lobsters like that, pearls are like that
Yeah,
because
jewels,
all a
food,
pearl
name
is a
brands.
piece of sand that sat inside of a creature's mouth. That's
Yeah.
it. That's all it is.
It's a low end
Yeah, it's low
luxury
end shit
jewel.
that we've deemed
Worthy.
luxurious.
Yeah. Um,
Um,
so to get into the big holiday, Sony and I are going to talk about a lot of different aspects that come with this holiday season, and I kind of broke it down in sections so we can have a discussion about it all. We have no idea how long this episode is going to be. It could be really short, could be really long. Who knows? Just depends on how riled up Sony gets.
that's very accurate.
So first things first, let's talk about since it is talking about holiday, we're mainly talking about like the winter holidays. This is, I mean, it goes for any holiday, but we're talking about specifically winter holidays. So let's kind of talk about the pressures for a perfect holiday, because that's kind of where this whole thing starts.
Well, when you start thinking about that, specifically pressures, there's the expectation of you have to be the best at something.
Yes.
You have to spend the most amount of money.
Let's
You
let's say
have to.
let's put the
There's
gift.
a bunch of things that go into that.
Yeah, let's put the gift giving to the side for right now. Let's talk about
No,
like
I mean
what.
just in general, like
Yeah, yeah,
spending the
yeah.
most money. Like say for Thanksgiving, people make a big show over that holiday, and it's like, oh, we threw this massive, huge party and spent thousands and thousands
Now,
of dollars.
hang on. Like I said, we're specifically talking about a winter holiday. That no, Thanksgiving counts, but we're talking about mainly about like Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and Christmas or Winter Solstice or anything like that. Like things that are really like most people in the entire world celebrate something of that scheme nature. So we're gonna put gift giving to the side and the pressures of the perfect holiday. Talking about how big holiday puts the pressure on, like you said, where people want to be able to host and they want to make sure that their house is decorated with
Oh
all of
yeah,
these
that's
crazy
that's because
things.
that's
That
because
is
every
part of
every everything surrounding those holidays is covered by the media.
yes,
So you get this glamorized, hey, this is what a perfect thing looks like. Like how many movies and stuff do you know that are about a giant party or about a holiday, about just stuff like that. It's all done specifically to sell shit.
specifically with Christmas, like
Yeah,
specifically with
specifically
Christmas.
with Christmas. Christmas is a very capitalistic holiday.
Very much
a-
so. And it's
And
supposed to
it's
be quote unquote the Christian basis of Jesus's birthday. You know what I mean? And you're spending an enormous amount of money during this time.
oh yeah, you spend an extreme amount of money during the holidays,
Most people do.
specifically
Most people do.
Christmas, yeah.
Yeah. Um so you have that. So let's talk about like the decor with it. That is also another way that big holiday profits so much.
Oh,
Is
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
decor
Slap Christmas on
is
anything and people will
endless.
buy it.
As someone who grew up with a parent that went insane on the holidays when it comes to like decorating. Like once I got into high school, this is like where it really went crazy. We had like 8 Christmas trees in our house, and it was like a maybe 1,400 square foot house, if that. I showed Stony pictures the other day,
Oh,
and he
yeah.
was like, "What the actual fuck?" It was literally like Christmas threw up in the house, and then the outside of the house was like every inch of the house was decorated in a Christmas lights. Every inch of the lawn was decorated in a Christmas lights. The little driveway, like, and it's not like I said, it's not these giant 2-story mansions or 3-story mansions. You know, it's nothing like that. It's just a little normal single family home house. You know what I mean? Um, and it's just decorated out the ass. And I can't think of how much money was spent to be able to accumulate all of this just to go into a competition to be best house in the neighborhood. Because that is also a thing. Neighbors like secretly compete with each other to like who can out I mean there's tons of Christmas movies about that, you know? Like Deck the Halls is one of them where they're competing against who has the better home and has the more Christmas spirit. But yeah, having 8 Christmas trees in a house is like absolutely insane. Having it decorated top to bottom is absolutely insane. Having the outside be decorated top to bottom is just absolutely insane. Granted, like you do use these things over and over and over year after year if you're like, you know, using it right. But decorations are such a big fucking part of it. It's the same thing with like the lightings of the tree in Rockefeller Center or any other big city. They have like tree lightings, you know? Um, there's tons of there's entire amusement parks that are just Christmas amusement parks. And then not only that, all these like amusement parks, Dollywood, Silver Dollar City, Six Flags, Disney World, they capitalize on the holidays. And they transformed their entire parks immediately into all the decorations. I know like Disney does it in less than 24 hours. They like do it all overnight and then all of a sudden all their Christmas shit's out and then boom, ta-da. Like it's for more than the entire month, you know what I mean? And then there's people who travel specifically to go to these amusement parks during the holiday seasons to see all the lights. Or you do the driving around to go look at Christmas lights, you know what I mean? In certain areas, or like I said, the Polar Express thing where you can go get a little ticket and sit on a non-moving train and have the Polar Express experience. There's so many things just based on consumer spending when it comes to decorations or entertainment. It's the same thing with the oh my god, I cannot think of them. Um, the fucking dancers in New York City that do the giant kicks, and every Christmas they're like, my brain is not working right now. So you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. If I think of it later, I'll come back to that. But there's shows and entertainments that are around this holiday as well. So that's also a way for not only companies to make money, but since it is Christmas theme, it only comes around this time of year, right? Like the month of December is absolutely insane for consumerism and entertainment and um giving, and it's such a weird time of the year. I've always thought it's a weird thing, and I love it. Like I love and hate it. I love the fact of everything feels like if you're in good company, don't get me wrong, I've had like shitty holidays and everything, but it seems like everyone wants to be in good cheer because of the generational ton like things of just there's always some sort of holiday every single year around this time. So it's going to be a reoccurring pattern and has been for like hundreds and hundreds of years. You know what I mean? It's expected that this is going to be a thing every year. And it's such a weird dynamic that we have as a consumer and as a human, is seeing that there's so much to do. You also get that FOMO of the pressure, going back to it, the pressure of a perfect holiday. People get FOMO from like not having enough decorations, not having enough Christmas parties, not going to these events to experience some of the entertainment. When it is all just capitalistic, you know, push. That's all it is.
Yeah, so the thing I have more so on the whole big idea with it is how, with all of that, the fact that it's being pushed down everybody's throat.
Yes, even if you don't celebrate Christmas, for example.
Exactly. And there's this massive pressure on people who don't to have some kind of, okay, well, do I want to fit in or do I want to just worry about what I want to worry about? And
Yeah,
I feel like there's this massive push that if you're not celebrating this holiday, you're, just something's wrong or something's off about you, or you know what I mean? Like there's this societal expectation
to enjoy, to be
to
cheerful,
enjoy, yeah, like, I mean, me
to feel the
personally,
cheer.
not a fan of Christmas. I've never been a fan of Christmas.
Yeah, but
Um,
you have your reasons.
yeah, but
You
it's
know.
still just hilarious to me because everyone's like, "Ah, Christmas, Christmas, Christmas," and
We're working on it. I'm making sure that this Christmas is a good Christmas for Tony, all right? I'm letting him feel the cheer.
yeah, that is
Um,
true.
but also on the fact is like when we talked about Christmas specifically. I know there's tons of Jewish people who celebrate Hanukkah, but also they celebrate Christmas too, to combine it, just to feel that some people only celebrate Hanukkah. It's the same thing with people celebrating Kwanzaa as well. Some people do have like certain parts of Christmas that they celebrate, but not the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like sometimes
Yeah,
they may have a tree if they feel like it. But it goes down to it, which is why I don't like celebrating Christmas. I like celebrating the winter solstice, among many of other people who like to celebrate the winter solstice, is because that's really what it fucking is. And Christmas was taken from paganism, and they took all the symbols of Christmas, the Christmas tree, Santa, gift giving, certain foods, like anything you want to boil down into Christmas, it was all taken from paganism. And they took it, they stole it, and then they put Christ into it, and now ta di da da, now it's Christmas. And they basically killed everybody that didn't believe in Christ. You know what I mean? It's such a weird concept in theory. And also to get technical with it too, like it's technically not Jesus's birthday either. And there's plenty of people that are really big into religion, that have said that time and time again. That's like technically it's not really even around December anyways, but for some reason they still celebrate it, you know? Coming from both sides, whether you believe or don't. That's also what is like so fucking funny about the whole thing is the religion aspect during this time is crazy. Like I can't imagine being Catholic during this time and having to go to Christmas mass and sit there for fucking what, 5 hours? Oh, like the religious aspect of during the holiday time is very crazy. I get everyone does their own thing, but that is also something a lot of them profit on. A lot of churches make a lot of money during this year because people feel more inclined to give, right? And also the people that haven't been to churches all year long, that's just usually the time they go around to church. It puts people in the mood that we just discussed of like they have to. They have to create a perfect little environment. They're like trying their best. They're trying to do good, and it's all about the consumerism, and we talked about that in our Takesgiving episode where we talked about a little bit about Black Friday. People are using the Black Friday to in Cyber Mondays to like go get all their gifts now and save money for Christmas, right?
Right.
And that makes sense. Like, I mean, you save all the money you can, especially when it comes to corporate shit. But even nowadays, the corporate shit are raising the prices and then lowering the Black Friday sales to exactly what the prices used to be and calling it a deal. So it's been like shit this year. You know, it's been
Yeah, it
you
has
think they're
felt
not gonna figure that shit out.
it has felt very off because just it seems that everything that like I was talking about this the other day to some people. I remember, even 10 years ago when you'd get like a 40-inch TV for like 50, $60 or something like that
Yes.
was like
Yeah.
a deal. And people waited all year for that because
Yeah,
they
because it
knew
was a
that
good
was the
deal.
only time the deals were going to be. And it seems like somewhere along the way, big
People got greedy.
holidays realized, oh, wait, people are going to spend this money regardless if it's actually a deal or not. So why don't we just raise everything prices and then just
Like weeks before
yeah, a
Thanksgiving.
couple weeks before and then slash the price back down to the normal price we had and people will still buy it.
Yeah, I saw so many videos on TikTok of people posting like going to stores on Black Friday thinking it was gonna be busy and like it's empty.
Oh yeah,
There's no one
there
there.
was someone was telling me they went to Best Buy on
Which is
Black Friday
usually what people do,
and
you
what
know?
people did and like he went at 2 in the afternoon. Everything was still there. Like he said all the TVs were still there,
Yeah,
like
there's not
all the
deals.
there
There
wasn't
was
there wasn't deals
there was
anymore.
there was also a video I saw of someone going into I think it was Target and they were like pulling the the like sale tag thing out off
Mhm.
to the side. Off those like middle displays that they have in aisles where they like
Yeah.
have a little price tag that's really big. On the price tag it said Black Friday deal. And they removed the Black Friday deal and behind it was the same exact price that it
Yeah.
normally is. It's just they just buy these things to say Black Friday deal, and in reality, it's the same price. Like, yeah, as consumers, one, a lot of people cannot afford shit. That's like a major thing. Right now, the economy is so bad, a lot of people cannot afford shit.
Yeah.
And the second thing is people are not buying shit because it's not not a deal. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Yeah,
there's
the
there's no
stores are going really
incentive like it
expensive.
normally is, and they know that as consumers, people make a lot of choices emotionally based instead of necessarily factually based. So that's
Yes,
why they know, okay, chances are none of these people that are buying this have been watching the prices of these items.
very
So
much
if
so.
we just keep it the same, say it's something else, they're gonna look there, and there's nothing we have to
Might
do
get
about it.
somebody. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think the corporates are gonna take a major hit on that because, like I said, no one's buying shit. I mean, it's mainly also the internet is a big thing. After COVID, everything basically went online too. You know what I mean? Like once the internet
yeah,
really got started, Cyber Monday became a thing. Most people, why would you want to go to a store when they're? It'd be different if the stores are like it's only an in-store deal, right? But after
right.
COVID,
Yeah,
that's what they used to
they used
do.
to do
Yeah.
that, yeah, with
Yeah.
Walmart,
But
was a big one.
after 2020 hit and you know the world did a 180, it completely changed with everything and it's still affecting everything now, you know.
Yeah,
Why would anyone want to go in person when they can get the exact same deal online and it's delivered to their house? especially when you have tons of family, you have kids, you're a caretaker, like you're working. It makes it so easy and convenient to be able to take care of the shit that you need to take care of, still get the deal, and you don't have to go wait in line for 4 hours like you used to in 2002. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, and there's like that hit and miss. It's like, granted, we're not having those fucking fist fights anymore, like we talked about on
Yeah,
the
we're not having
Thanksgiving
people
episode
die
from getting
in mob
trampled.
rushes.
Yeah, yeah. But there is like that's gone now. It's just online, which is good and bad because for me, it's like when I did our holiday shopping, I got gifts for Stony. I got stuff from like small businesses that are only online. They don't have a storefront. You know what I mean? And I do like that aspect. But the corporations have taken over and tried to trick us, especially this year, and no one fell for it. Everyone's like, "You guys are fucking stupid." I'm sure a lot of people like actually fell for it, but a majority of us were like, "These aren't deals. Like we're understanding your game." You know what I mean? And that falls into the next kind of topic, kind of transitioning here into corporate ads, or just ads, holiday ads in general. Oh my god, it's insane. Cable's not really a thing. I mean, it is for some people, but most people use streaming services, and even if you have streaming services, you get ads. No matter what it is, whether you're on YouTube or Hulu or fucking Spotify, like it just for example, right? You also have like if you have cable, you have the personalized in your local area holiday ads, right? Or you get the tons of fucking emails that you'll get that are just holiday ads. And they like tell you the deadline that you have to order by to
Oh
get
yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
present in time for
Yeah, yeah,
like,
they send
Christmas or
those
Christmas Eve or
reminders like X amount of days until Christmas
yeah.
or buy this as a Christmas gift or this day. It's a lot of the like I said, the emotional leading.
And I feel like after Black Friday though, I feel like that's where the actual deals are at. I feel like that's when they start going, "Oh fuck, we kind of need to sell some more shit, so let's cut some prices back so people will actually buy our stuff." Because Black Friday they'll see an increase or a decrease, and if they see a decrease, then they're gonna give you more sales right
Yeah,
before Christmas for people to
it's
buy
all
it for
based on the
presents.
numbers game. I mean,
Yeah,
that's just
yeah.
how it's gonna work, and
Marketing in general, yeah,
it's
exactly.
unfortunate that that's where we're all at now.
Well, yeah, it's all a numbers game, and I think the corporate ads are crazy. I think I remember the ones I remember growing up watching a lot were it was always jewelry commercials. Like it was always like um
Oh yeah, about buying diamonds and stuff.
buying diamonds and stuff like as a gift for Christmas, and they find the little Christmas you find the little box in a
The little
tree in
box
the
at the end of
tree.
that was hidden in the tree. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's always the most cheesiest bullshit by a
Yeah.
fire
Which
too.
also though it goes into the whole aspect of a lot of people get engaged on Christmas.
Oh yeah, they do. A lot of people use that sale to buy whatever, then they pop the question on Christmas.
Yeah, and
Bleh.
more power to you guys, but I think it is cheesy, overplayed, and not special.
I think it's lame.
Unless like your partner has always had the worst Christmas ever, and that's their fucking dream is like one day to open presents and then they have a ring there for you. Good for them. That's good. But to me,
I'm gonna
personally,
laugh at it.
I could not remember the times. Like I remember being in college and you would see, people you're in your 20s, people are starting to get engaged. Um I didn't it was not really like a thing for me in high school, obviously, because we're in high school. Um but I remember in college, like every holiday season, you would see somebody getting engaged on Christmas.
Yeah, that's true.
New Year's is also very, very,
New
very popular.
Year's, Valentine's
Um,
Day.
yeah, but I think Christmas is a really big one. Um, that was like that's a really big one. But like I said, if Christmas is that person's like if it's that person's favorite everything, then that's a perfect proposal. But if you're listening and you're thinking, I'm going to propose to my partner on Christmas and it's not like their favorite thing, save it. Just save it and plan something more personable to you two instead of using a holiday as a way out to propose.
Yes.
It's such an easy way out of like, "Oh, I don't gotta put much thought into it. Let me put a box in a tree and then I'll propose to her." Or we're at her family's, everyone's in Christmas pajamas. Propose. You know what I mean? Like, just for all the listeners, I'm being serious. Like, the way Stony proposed was such a personal thing to me, and it made our proposal way more memorable than putting it on a holiday. And that's what you want to do for your partner if you care about them. You want to make sure it's special. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think the tree thing is a little not tacky, but it's to each their own. I just don't think it is a way out. It's a holiday way out. Same thing with Valentine's Day. It's a fucking make it special. There's 365/66 days of the year. You have
Right.
plenty of time to figure something out one day to make it special. You know what I mean? And that's the corporate ads, like the jewelry. The jewelry is a big thing. I always remember the Coca-Cola Bear ad. That was always a really big one. And then the M&Ms with Santa. That was
Yeah,
also very memorable. The M&Ms with Santa one.
I remember those
Um,
ones.
and then you have like local ads where you're at, like your local businesses ads.
Yeah, doing Christmas
I
ads.
saw you post about it today, Stony, or yesterday. That made me laugh because I was like, yeah, accurate. Those the little jingle.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. That was really funny. Car dealerships, because people
yeah,
buy
car
cars for people
dealerships.
on holidays.
Yeah, for
Car
some
dealerships,
reason,
yeah. For some reason, I guess that is it's a big Christmas gift. So I guess if you're gonna get anybody, you could. And it's always the car outside and the giant red bow.
always, always that, or it's like the Lexus one, or I remember the Mercedes one where it was
Yeah,
like Santa and driving,
driving the Mercedes with the reindeer.
driving Mercedes reindeers. It was weird.
Yeah, the reindeer's power the Mercedes. Yeah, the reindeer Mercedes. Yeah, I know what you
Yeah,
mean. He's
it's like there's like
piloting
12 gray
12.
Mercedes in front of like one
Yeah.
red Mercedes. It's like that's so weird.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. So yeah, you have all the corporate ads that make you, like I said, feel the pressure that you have to get
Also, hold on,
quicker.
real quick. Why is it that they think everything about Christmas is snow? Everything's snow related. Why? Why is that?
Not in Florida
Not
you know,
for a good portion of the country.
or
No
Hawaii.
snow.
Yeah, but it's when you think of winter, like I said, it's not necessarily granted as like USA consumerism, but this
Yeah,
is a
because
worldwide
it's
thing.
worldwide, but the
There's a
majority of
lot of
why there's such a big push
the
is the
it's
United
because
States.
well, yes, and it's also because it's winter, so it does snow a lot in the winter, so that's the emphasis on it. And the North Pole's cold, so you have that in with Santa too. And then you have like Hawaii and any warmer southern states like Florida and stuff where they do the like flamingo vibes, or they do like a beach Santa. It just kind of depends on where you're at. Like I said, the whole fucking Stavi and Theo's podcast
The
where they
Greeks.
talk where they talk if you guys haven't seen that, that's such a funny ass clip where they talk about the Santas that what kind of
Cajun,
Santas
the Cajun Santa.
Cajun and Greek Santa. So yeah, it just kind of depends on where you're at, and in the environment is also like why they do snow. But snow is just winter. That's snow's in the North Pole. It's cold there. That's just kind of the fantasy that we
I
live on.
guess. I guess.
Yeah. Um so that also kind of goes hand in hand with the concept of Santa. Um and the worldwide everyone celebrates is different. I know in a couple weeks we're going to be doing an episode strictly on Krampus, and I'm so excited to talk.
Krampus.
I fucking love Krampus. I'm so excited to talk about Krampus. Um but yeah, the concept of Santa is worldwide.
Everyone grab your sacks, your burlap sacks, and
We're
your
stealing children
we're stealing children.
because they've been bad. I'm gonna whip them with fucking sticks.
Birchwood branches.
Yeah, birchwood branches.
Birch,
Um,
birch.
but yeah, the concept of Santa is also worldwide. And let's talk about that. Growing up, you said you didn't really I can't remember. Did you say you believed in Santa or you didn't really have Santa or that was just not a concept that your family had?
So I am a product of divorce, so
Well,
I
obviously.
had separate concepts of Christmas.
Okay. So
Depending where I was at that time.
okay, so let's
Because
say one parent believed in doing Santa and the other one
yeah,
was like it's Jesus' birthday.
yes.
Okay. So that
That's
was
that's
your
yeah,
upbringing, yeah.
yeah.
Mine
Yeah,
was
so
combined like a lot of other families are combined where it's Jesus and Santa put together.
oh.
So since
Yeah,
yours was
it was
separate, you
never
pretty much have
never really the concept of Santa, and I think there was like 2, maybe 3 Christmases where that was something, but
okay,
other
so
than
you didn't like get the whole you never did you ever like go see a mall Santa or any Santa like did you ever take pictures with Santa?
um, yes, but it's the weirdest thing, so growing up with, like, a military background,
Yeah.
a lot of the times there would be Christmas parties on bases
Oh, so that's
and
kind of
stuff like
when they would
that,
bring in like
so
Santa for the kids.
yeah, there would always be there would always be something like that. So yes,
So, but you didn't get like a just degular Santa at a Christmas party anywhere else besides a military background, right?
correct.
Okay. So yeah, this is why I say Stoney's had just not had great Christmases, and I'm trying to like really be like, here's the holiday cheer.
Yeah,
Because
it's never been a big thing for me.
mine was heavily raised on Santa with Jesus, of course. Santa Jesus, how about that? Yours was separated. That's a
Yeah.
huge difference. I think that's why you don't enjoy the holiday season as much, is because it is so separated. Granted, like mine was always also divorced things, but it was just they all agreed on the same thing. Yours was like one or the other, depending on
Yeah.
where you were at.
Depended where I was.
Yeah. So the concept of Santa for me, I think, is what makes the holiday season so magical in that sense. It does a lot, like a lot of holidays, it's way more fun with kids in a sense of like they're so gullible. It's so fun to like make stories up and tell them about Santa and
Like eating the
reindeer
cookie and
and
all that
elves.
stuff.
Yeah. And I remember when I was a teacher, I remember that was always the best time in the classroom. Um was doing that. Was like making holiday crafts, things like that, and then they get to write like a Santa list that they want and talking about, or they would do something like bad and you're like, I'm going to tell Santa about that, and they like have a mental breakdown. I'm like, I'm going to tell Santa that you're being bad." And they're like, "No. Please. Please, no, I need my presents. Please." Because you can be like, "Hey, I'm telling your mom," and they'll be like, Okay." But you say during that season, you say, "Hey, I'm gonna tell Santa." They are like snot bubble crying. "Please don't tell Santa. Please, please." It's true. It's fucking hilarious. But I also think that there is magic in children. I think there really is when it comes to that like big doe-eyed believing. Really, because they don't know any better, you know? And I love how some children get terrified of Santa when they see him, and some are like pissing their pants with excitement. You know what I mean? There's two levels of it. Some are just I love the pictures of seeing people, especially when they're younger, of putting a kid on Santa's lap, and they're either like talking Santa's ear off because they want everything on their list, right? Or they're just hysterically crying and freaking out because they're like, this guy in a beard and a red suit is asking me questions, and this is terrifying. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
I love that. I think that's hilarious. Um, so kind of the things that like my family did really good at despite like all of the other shit. I felt like Christmas is always, whether we had presents or not, um the little gimmicks that they did were really fun. I remember some years, and then as you go as an adult, you're actually like, huh, that's a cheap and easy way to make kids believe more. You know what I mean? So I remember I had one year where, I mean, it was just like multiple years. Um, they'll take like boots and dip them in baby powder, and sometimes they'll like walk them across the carpet or like right in front of like a fireplace. So there's these big boots with baby powder boot imprints. So it's like white, looks like snow, right?
Right.
So that was like a thing. I remember always leaving out milk and cookies, obviously. I always left out a beer for Santa. I
Mm.
always left to say every year for Christmas, I always left out Santa a Budweiser. And it just happened to also be my dad's favorite beer. I just never put that together. You know what I mean? So I was always leaving a beer out and cookies and a glass of milk for Santa, right? And the beer was always fully drank, but the milk was like maybe had a couple sips out of it. And the cookies were just demolished. And now that I think as an adult, I'm like, that's fucking hilarious. Santa, you know what I mean? I just think as an adult who's the one staying up and putting out the gifts and doing this little gimmicky shit, you're the one drinking the beer and eating the cookies.
Right.
So you're like, leave out a Budweiser for Santa. Go do that. That's also like such a white trash thing to do as well, you know? So yeah, I would always leave out beer and cookies mainly for Santa. And then my mom always made me leave out carrots for the reindeer. So we would have like we'd wake up on Christmas morning. Sometimes it'd be a really good Christmas, or other times it'd be really bad, just depending on what was going on. And the good Christmases that I remember waking up on Christmas and seeing like white footprints everywhere and being like, holy shit, he was here. He was fucking here. It's right in front of the fireplace. He's obviously real, guys. His footprints. And you're fucking like, fucking 6 years old. You don't know anybody. You're like, holy shit, it's his footprints right there. And I remember looking over and the beer would be drank, the cookies would be gone, or like one cookie, like one half cookie would be left, right? To show that he ate it. The milk would be barely touched, and all the carrots would be like munched on. And I was like, holy shit. Fucking reindeer ate my food. They ate the carrots. I hope they liked it. And I remember writing the night before we'd always write Santa a list. And then also in my mother's handwriting, which I
Of
never put
course. Yeah,
together,
never put that together.
would be written back in cursive because my mom wrote in cursive, would be writing you've been so good this year. I hope you have a Merry Christmas. We left you presents under the tree. And it was a letter from Santa, right?
Yeah.
And then the way my family distinguished presents was Santa's was always unwrapped. He didn't have time to wrap presents. So the unwrapped I know. I know. So the unwrapped presents were from
That
Santa.
would be so easily checkable with
I
anyone else
know.
around you. Oh, were your presents wrapped from Santa? Oh, well, mine weren't wrapped. I
I
guess we
never
ran out of time.
I'm a fucking child. I was like, that's true. I never asked
Yeah.
anybody. I was like, every year it's the same.
The math is mathing on that one, guys.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember like being like, "Oh, damn. All right, cool. Footprints, ate the carrots, beers drank. Man, Santa had a good time. Oh, he left me some gifts. I know those are from Santa. Those are unwrapped. And then the ones that'd be wrapped were from
Now,
my
okay, I guess
family,
the important thing, because we've been talking about Christmas for a while, the important thing, how old were you when you found out that it wasn't
Oh,
real?
we're gonna talk about it. We're devastated. Devastated. We're gonna talk about it. Okay. So another thing my family did is I started once I started getting like a little older, right? Like you enjoy Christmas. Most people enjoy Christmas until they're about 10. And then at 10 years old, it's like ruined for you. Once you find out Santa's like, I would say 8 to 10 years old, if you have like good people around you, you're gonna
I
be able to
was
figure.
I was
Hang
about to
on,
say,
hang
you want
on.
to talk about mine
No,
because it was
no, 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 no,
super
no,
early.
no, 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 hang on. Most people, if like it doesn't get ruined by family members most of the time, it gets ruined by other kids at school. So you have
That's
until
where you're wrong,
hang
kiddo.
on, hang on, hang on. From my point of view and from a lot of other people that are not Stony, all right? Most people believe in Santa till they're about 8 or 10 years old. And they don't find out, or they're just like, no, Santa's real, even if their friends say no, right? Um, I would say, but you have about until you're late 10, right? Maybe. So you believe in Santa. So as I got older, I started like trying to like sneak a peek at Santa. Like I was like, I'm gonna fucking stay up. I'm gonna stay up and I'm gonna find Santa. Like how every fucking child does. And I remember my mom telling me that if I did not go to sleep, that the elves were gonna steal all of my socks and flush them down the toilet. And I was like, "What the fuck?" And then she's like, "Yeah, the elves come out for all the kids that try to like get a peek at Santa because they want to like distract. They want to distract Santa or distract you so you don't see Santa because you're not allowed to. So they like mess with you." And I was like, "No fucking way!" Like, I was like, "Nah, I don't believe this. That's dumb. That's dumb. Why would the elves do that? They're making toys." Kid logic, right? And I remember one time I stayed up and I could hear Santa in the house. I was like, oh, he's like rustling around, and it's just my parents in there just trying to be quiet as fuck, moving gifts around, right? Or my mom in there, or whatever at the time, whatever it was, right?
Right.
And I remember I'm gonna stay up. I'm gonna get Santa. So I was like, you're fucking 7 years old and you're like trying to stay awake. It's like 11, and you're like, I'm so exhausted. I'm staying up so late. It's so late right now. And I remember staying up, and I remember hearing rustling around, and I was like, "That's Santa. That's Santa." And I like try to like sneak towards my door, and then I heard like boot steps towards the hallway, and I like ran back and laid back in bed, and then like ended up falling asleep. Right. The next morning, all of my socks were out of my drawer, all over the floor in my room, and there was a trail of socks to the bathroom. And one sock was in the toilet, not flushed, but in the toilet. And I was like, those noises were those fucking elves. The elves knew. Those elves fucking knew.
This
And
confirmed it even more for you.
yeah, yeah. And I was like, oh my god.
That's
Holy shit.
goofy.
I was like,
That's
"Holy
goofy
shit."
right there.
And I pick up some socks, and I'm pissed. I'm so mad. I'm like, they just ruined my, they just fucking made a mess, right? And I have to clean it up. And I remember, like, it's Christmas morning, and I grab some socks, and I run into my mom's room, and I, like, throw the socks in her bed, and I was like, "You see what these idiots did?" I was like, "Do you see what? I can't believe they did this." And my mom was like, "I told you. I told you that if you didn't go to sleep, they would know, and this would happen." And I was like, "I have a sock in the toilet. What am I? I'm having, like, a crisis, right?" I was like, "I can't
These
use that sock
socks.
anymore, mom. Mom, I can't use the sock anymore. It's fucking covered in pee-pee water." And I just had, like, the worst time,
Did
right?
you say pee-pee water?
I said pee-pee water. And she's like, "Well, next time you'll go to sleep, and this won't happen." And I learned my lesson then. So then we walk in, and I remember this too, also. We walk into the living room, and the whole thing, boots. We didn't have a fireplace. And I was like, "Mom, why is there boots to the back door?" And she goes, That's just how Santa gets in if you don't have a fireplace." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
That makes sense.
I
He's
was like,
just
"I
like,
just
stands to reason.
yeah, she uses the back door. And all the
Yeah,
kids
that makes
say
sense. That checks out.
this time I had to leave out a Dr. Pepper because Santa was tired of drinking beer, and it was when my mom, divorced, right? And so my mom wanted Dr. Pepper. So Santa wanted a Dr. Pepper. So
Oh, knowing knowing your parents, that's so great.
that's so funny, right? It's fucking we can talk about it. We can talk about it when we visit them too. It'd be fucking
Oh, that's
hilarious.
so funny.
So yeah, Santa had a Dr. Pepper this time, laid off the beer. And I was like, "Why a Dr. Pepper?" My mom was like, "Oh, Santa's on a diet now. He's not drinking anymore. He's going on a diet. He's getting a beer gut." That was logic as well. I was like, "Oh, that makes sense." I'm fucking 7. And I remember, like, walking in the living room, and I was like, "Oh, the same thing, almost every year, except for the fucking sock debacle." And I sit down, and I remember, oh, this was one of the best. This is yeah, the sock debacle. And I remember this is one of the best Christmases ever. I got a few things from Santa, but it wasn't like the greatest. It was just like regular presents. I guess presents are cool. If you have money, it's great. Awesome, right? So I got unwrapped presents from Santa. I don't even remember what they were, but I remember opening gifts for Santa this year, or for my family this year. And I opened up Hannah Montana pajamas and High School Musical t-shirt and a Hannah Montana nail kit, like little nail polishes. It was the best Christmas ever. It was an amazing Christmas. And I have a picture of me holding up my nail polish, and I immediately stripped naked and put on my Hannah Montana pajamas, or my High School Musical
Because
pajamas.
of course you did.
Yeah, and I'm wearing my High School Musical pajamas, and I have a picture of that. I'll show you. It's fucking great. It's one of my favorite things.
And hey chat, let me just go ahead and tell you, that little freckle faced 7-year-old is the same person that I married because I can go to the store and get her something. Like I got her a hoodie a couple weeks ago. It's literally just a hoodie that says Dungeons and Dragons. She wears it when we stream. It's great. Wasn't the most expensive thing ever. I brought it home and she has not taken it off since.
I just immediately stripped down, put it on. I was like,
Yep.
"Nice. Thank you."
Yep.
I'm that kid at Christmas that anything I get, I'm gonna, like, wear. I'm gonna, like, model around.
Oh yeah,
You
immediately.
Yeah, you give me some
She
socks, going over.
she's
Give me
one of
another pair
those
of socks,
people
going
that
over
if
there.
you get her something, she has to use it immediately to
Yeah,
prove to you that
I
she is
love it
using
so
it,
much.
that she likes it. To prove that she likes it, she is to show it off. And this is what I got. This.
It's accurate, though. But, yeah, me and my little high school, little short, bobbed, super curly hair, a little chunky, and missing teeth and High School Musical pajamas. I was so excited. Fucking great. It's one of my favorite Christmases. But yeah, so like that was like as a parent's perspective, that is so fucking good to get your kid to believe the stupidest shit.
Yeah.
And they're just like, yeah, that's why I think kids during the holiday times are really fun because you can do shit like that if you believe. So let's go over to like the non-fun side. Sonny, what was yours like if you believed in Santa? Because that's kind of how mine was until and then we'll talk about how we found out Santa wasn't real.
So I didn't really I don't know if I ever really actually was like, "Oh yeah, that's real. That all is all real." It just never made sense to me because, I grew up
You're too smart. You weren't as gullible as I was.
100%.
Well, it also wasn't a consistent thing for you. from both parties. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So there is a lot of level doubt in there, you know?
Yeah, it was different because like you know, I one side was very religious and we talked about like there's not a Santa like really early. Like
Okay, so
so it was like
talk
that
about
that,
hang
that
on, talk about your, like, how your Santa went before you talk about, like, the religious side of it. So, like, say
okay.
you do believe in Santa a little bit, how is that played in?
So what I'm saying is like I can't really give you an accurate answer because
You're
like
just
by the time I was like
you
5,
remembered? Yeah, by the time you
it wasn't a
remembered,
thing.
okay.
Like,
Okay.
one side tried to push it, but I had the other side saying, "That's not real," so
Okay, so yeah, talk about the side that said this is not real.
well, I mean, it was, like, even from an early age, like, people would, try to buy Christmas presents for us or whatever, and, like, right off the bat, that side was like, "Hey, just so you know, that person bought that, they spent their money on that.
That side is
Make
still
sure you
like
thank
that.
them. Make sure you thank them because they spent money for you,
Yeah,
because they like you or they care or whatever."
yeah, it wasn't a made up big jolly
Yeah, it
fat
wasn't like, "Oh, it's from Santa," which is funny because, like, even though that was, like, from a very early age, there's still from either side, there's still sides that are like, "Oh, this is from Santa." They still try to do that. It's always funny to me.
So you're basically when you're opening the gifts, you know exactly who it's from because
Yes.
they want the credit for it. It's not some made
Yes.
up person. So also on the religious side, was it because you were also quite religious as well for a period of your life?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Um,
grew up I grew up in a very
you
religious
guys,
environment.
because like we didn't really do the whole like we did Jesus and everything, but like growing up too, there was times we would go to church on like for Christmas stuff. But did you have anything like that to where you were like always in church during Christmas? Because we're not Catholic either. So I know people who are Catholic have to go to Christmas mass, like they have to.
No, we never did. So that's the thing, like, we didn't really do the whole go to the services or anything like that, like, 'cause it's really weird. So, I grew up in, like, kind of a weird thing, like, we grew up in a non-evangelical type of household, like, we weren't always going to church and stuff like that, like,
But you're
I didn't
super
start going to church, like, all the time until, like, probably
middle school,
5th or
high
6th
school.
grade,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's only because, like, I went to church when I wanted to, and, like, I from, like, a young age, like, probably 4th or 5th grade, I started going to church, like, every Wednesday, kinda stuff like that, just because we were kind of pushed towards that,
Yeah.
um so it's kind of weird because like one side that did Christmas, like they tried to say it's Santa, blah 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 blah. And then like as soon as I would get back to the other side, they'd be like, okay, make sure you remember that that wasn't Santa, that's not real. Like it was like a confirmed thing, like,
It kind of like it tore the facade away from you. You didn't
oh
get
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
experience
It
that,
wasn't like one of those things like I had to wait to find out that it's not
which is
real or anything like
why
that.
I think you do kind of just don't like this holiday so much is because that magic was put away from you for so long. Because it is kind of like an unspoken thing to most adults is like when you see a kid that's young during this holiday time, like you always ask like, "What are you asking Santa to get you?" You know, like I mean, really, you talk to like any like normal kids or you're around children. Um, you as an adult, you kind of keep the magic for them unless they tell you otherwise.
See, and that's what's wild is I think we're starting to get to a point like as a society where that's going to go away probably within like the next 2
No,
generations.
no, I
No,
don't.
no,
I
no,
don't.
no,
I don't
I
think
the only
so.
reason I say that is because everything is getting younger and younger and younger, like,
Well, we have the
because
internet.
it's you've got,
We have
1st
the
graders
internet.
that have cell phones, like, you know
Well,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. But what I'm saying is like, it's never gonna be ruined until of that aspect. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna maybe get. I mean, like I said, the age now is like 8 to 10. It's probably gonna go down to like a 7 or 8. But they're still
Oh, it's
so
gonna be younger and
gullible.
younger, I think
Well,
so.
yes, but I think you were raised so differently. That's also why. Is like you straight out the back had no doubt to like you were like, no, it's not real. But
Yeah.
if you're still like your family's still participating in it and you come home and that's still like kind of like, oh, okay, yes, Santa is real. And then you go to school and your kids are like, oh, Santa's not real. You still have the magic with your child, no matter what, because it's still the like concept of like maybe they're a little skeptical, but then the moment they see presents, they're like, oh yeah, it's Santa. You know what I mean? And it's not until they get a little bit older, like I said, around 7 or 8, where their brain starts to develop a little bit more. And then that's when they start being like, huh, you guys lied. They like figure out what lying really is or deceiving, deceptions, or that adults actually like tell lies and stories. Like I said, it's not, I don't think it's going to be necessarily ruined. It's more of like, if it's based on the household. Just like how you like mine was kept for me for a while, no matter even if people told me Santa wasn't real. I was like, "Nah, dude, I saw his fucking footsteps. Like you're crazy. I guess you've just been bad. You just Santa didn't even come to get you, so you're lying." You know what I mean? Like that's what my thinking was, and that's because it was kept up by all the adults around me. It was kept up by the adults in my personal life. You know,
So
and
at any
you know,
point, at any point in the year, someone could have told you, hey, don't do that. Santa's not gonna like that, and you would have like snapped to, is what you're saying.
no, it would have to be like September, around October, maybe like October on. Then I
Oh, was that in your mind?
It's not like you forget, but when you know the holiday season's coming around, it's like the whole concept of what we're talking about now. It's like it only really matters the month of December or the month of in after Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
when it kind of switches to children. Is like, oh yeah, it's Christmas now, or it's holiday time now. It's Hanukkah now. It's Kwanzaa now. You know what I mean? Like that's what I think kids really like turn on the. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, it's holiday time because the kids' brains are not. They don't remember a lot of things quickly or remember that, oh yeah, this time of year. It's just one of those things. But yeah, that's how it went for me. And I think it's also depending on like your own household, your own kids, you can keep that magic alive and make it fun. And other kids could ruin it, but most of the kids believe adults over children, right? Other kids, they'll believe adults over other kids. So as long as you don't have like you had multiple adults telling you it's not real. So you're obviously going to go, yeah, it's not real, you know?
Right.
If you believed like I did and you had people telling you like other children being like, "Yeah, Santa's fucking fake." I'd be like, "You're just a bad kid and he just skipped your house." You can see me as a younger me, right?
I
And you're like,
can,
"That's
yes. Yes.
We
Well,
watched
you're just bad.
Yeah, we watched Leo recently, the new Adam Sandler animated movie on Netflix,
Oh
and
my god.
the
If you
summer
wanna know what
character
Conway is like in real life, Summer. Summer's Conway.
the summer character was me as a kid. I mean, it's a little bit me now still, but it was definitely me as a kid, 100% to the T accurate. Summer was me, 100%. But yeah, we watched that and I was like, "Huh, that hits a little too hard."
Little redhead, freckle face fuck, spaz, just going crazy.
Won't stop talking, won't shut the fuck up. Yeah, accurate. Accurate. But anyways, yeah, so like imagine that, like little me, you couldn't tell me that Santa wasn't real. I had
Yeah,
to figure it out for
100%. No,
myself.
you would've
I had evidence. I
you
had
had to have
so
the
much
evidence.
evidence. You could the sock debacle of
The s
2005.
the sock debacle. The sock debacle.
The sock debacle of 2005. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Yeah,
like I said, you can keep the
something.
magic alive of the holiday season. Season?
Season. The season.
Which goes back into what we talked about with the perfect holiday. Parents have so much stress because you want to give your kid everything. You want to give your kid the world. Most normal parents, most loving, caring parents, how about that? Want their kid to succeed. They want to give the kid their world. So they want to have the perfect Christmas, whether it's breaking the bank. I mean, there's people who pick up tons of extra shifts during the holiday season to buy their kids Christmas presents because they don't want
Yep.
to spend their regular money for that they have now. Or if they don't have very much money, they pick up extra shifts because they want to
Or
be
they get part-time jobs, or they
yes,
start
because
doing
they want to
Uber, DoorDash.
yeah, they want to be able to give their kids the best. And I think that's really amazing that not only are there people who are barely making ends meet, but they're doing a lot of extra things because they want to make it special for the kids. Because it is such a the holiday times, no matter what you celebrate, is such a special time for kids. I think it is. I think it is very magical, but that depends on like if you have kids. Me and Stoney don't have kids, so I don't think he understands. And him not growing up kind of in that Santa believing
Because
environment.
I had a bad childhood.
Well, not even just the bad childhood, but like the non-believing in Santa or getting told Santa doesn't exist, right? you don't understand that. Like, this is why you don't really think Christmas is like, or holiday season is not the greatest. You're just like, nah, whatever, it's overrated because you just
No, my
don't.
favorite part about this holiday is literally just candy.
Yeah, you are. Well, that's why Halloween's your favorite. That's
I'm
why
a
Halloween.
goblin. I like
Yeah,
candy, and
yeah.
I wish I could have candy all the time, but I can't.
So, but yeah, the pressures of a perfect holiday. It is a lot of pressures. Mainly, I would say, mostly on the moms most of the time. Um,
Right.
there's single dads out there who do a fucking wonderful job. Single moms who have to do a job, whether you're in a parent couple or like whatever the gender is, the mom role in your relationship, whoever that is, I feel like has the most pressure. Because not only are you providing presents, you're like I said, if you're gonna cook Christmas dinners or holiday dinners or holiday parties, decorating your house, decorating the trees, it's like unless your partner's really into it too, you take a lot of the stress of the season. Let's talk about like a typical quote unquote all American family, husband, mom, uh
Two
Bradley
kids.
and
Two kids.
Riley there, right? Two
Two
kids.
kids
A boy and a girl,
with a dog.
heterosexual, yeah,
White.
heterosexual
White.
American family, right? Let's just talk about that for example. The pressure is 100% on the mom. That dad is not going to be doing a damn thing. May hang up some like Christmas lights if they're
Yeah,
really into it.
hangs up the Christmas lights, chops the tree down, brings it in, um,
It's a video I saw that's
smokes a
so.
pipe by the fire while the whole family does everything else.
Yes, 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 that. And I saw this video too on that's been circulating around, which is like it's so sad, but it's so realistic. Is the mom, let's say in this relationship, does all the shopping, gets all the kids the gifts, gets two kids gifts, gets the husband's gifts, right? Fills the stockings, and her stocking is completely empty because the husband's not going to take the time out of the day to. Oh, that's not on his list to do. So the mom is giving all the gifts to the kids. The dad is getting to open all these presents, and the mom has like some fucking homemade Santa handprint cards from the children, and her stocking's empty because her fucking shitty ass husband didn't do anything. Oh, here's some socks, some fuzzy socks for you. That's her gift after doing all of that work the whole holiday season. That's the mom reward in most families. Isn't that batshit crazy? I find that absolutely insane. That there's people in this world that is their role. And every year after being so stressed out from Thanksgiving to basically until Christmas is over, that's their reward. Is a pack of fucking fuzzy socks and some handmade bullshit from your children. After you spent hundreds of dollars on your kid and hundreds of dollars on your partner. That's so fucked. Truly. So it also goes back to what I'm telling you guys. Guys, heterosexual men, if you're fucking listening, which I know you guys are, if you have a girlfriend and or a wife or a baby mama or whatever the thingy is, make
Whatever
sure
your title is.
make sure you are filling her stocking up. And I don't mean put your dick in her hole, all right? I'm
You
talking
see
about
that
like
killer.
I'm talking about actually filling your stocking up and making sure that that human in your life that you supposedly care for is actually getting gifts. It takes 2 seconds to figure out a gift for her. You can fill the stocking up with her things that she uses common, like everyday chapsticks, pencils, pens, because they write a bunch. Yeah, like you can fill it up with her favorite candies, um, hair ties, hair clips, anything like that. And then also take the time to actually get her a gift and fucking wrap it. Do not just hand her a box on Christmas Day that is unwrapped. The whole point of the whole quote unquote holiday is the unwrapping part. A lot of people think that's really fun, is unwrapping the presents. I think wrapping presents is fun. I think opening presents is fun. So
Yeah, that's so much fun.
well, I just make sure you're taking the time to pick out the gift. You're taking care of your wife or partner or baby mama or whatever. Make sure you are taking the time to like give her the gifts because in this heterosexual couple that we're hypothetically talking about, this is a real thing and y'all don't listen and y'all don't pay attention and y'all just do everything else and you ignore her. So make sure you're giving back to the moms, all right? Like Jesus. That's my little side rant. But yeah, it is the perfect pressure holiday. And that goes on with gift giving and buying. Next little segment. It goes back to our holiday sales, goes back to the corporate ads and the pressure of a perfect holiday. People go crazy giving gifts to other people. I could not imagine having a giant family where it is required to get everyone in that family at least something.
Yeah, that'd be insane.
Like, say every year you have at least, let's say 25 people. That's a small number. Some people have more than that. Let's say every year at Christmas time, say it's fucking Christmas morning or whatever you guys do your holiday time, you have 25 people there and everyone has to have a gift. That's so much money.
That is a lot of money.
Even if you do a cheap way, even baking stuff, that's still a lot of money, a lot of ingredients. It's a lot of things you gotta bake. It's a lot of time, you know? I think the gift giving is crazy. I love giving gifts. I don't mind receiving gifts, but I think I'm very good at gift giving. So I think giving gifts is really fun because I'm very good at gift giving.
It's really hard to be somebody's partner when they're like, "Oh yeah, I don't really care if you get me stuff," but they want to buy you stuff all the time. Cough, cough, Conway.
Yeah, literally me. Literally me. Literally me. Stoney's gonna have such a good uh winter solstice and I'm so excited. You're gonna be under that tree. There's already multiple presents right now that he has to stare at every day and go, I wonder what that is. And I'm surprised Stoney doesn't do the little kid thing where he like peels the wrapper back and he's like trying to like peek at what the shit is. Earlier we talked about that. He goes, "Yeah, I picked one of those presents up and I think it's this." And I was like, "You picked up one of the presents and examined it?"
No, I didn't say that. I said I picked up the stuff off of the porch because we
Oh, okay.
ordered stuff, and then I just set all of it down. So I saw the 3 items that were on the porch, picked them
Oh,
up, set them in a chair, and then went away. But I saw one of them was like, I was like, "Oh, that's gotta be like a shirt or something," just because the package was
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it looked like a rolled up poster.
Yeah,
I don't know.
you were like, what's this? What's this?" But I used to do that as a kid. Fun fact: I would pick up the presents and I'd be like, I think this is this. I would roll for examination. You know. Um,
Shake it.
yeah, I would peel back the paper a little bit. I'd make a little crack in the paper, and I was like, I think I know what this is.
Yeah, that
Um,
makes sense, you would do that.
yeah, I 100% was the person that did that. But yeah, the gift giving is insane. I think now is also when a lot of charities and nonprofits get a lot of money. Because a lot with the super rich too, they feel better about themselves. Some people are good people, but 95% of the time, people feel better about themselves for giving to charity during this time, which is like good for the charities because they're getting a lot of money, but also like fuck the rich people who are like, yeah, I gave to this and I gave to that, and they'll tell you about it. They'll tell you all about it. That's a shitty part. They'll tell you all about it. And they're like, "Yeah, my husband got me a new Audi for Christmas, and then we gave like $200 to our local homeless shelter." You know what I mean? Shit like that, literally.
Right.
But if you can donate this holiday season, make sure you do. I like to do the thing where the angel trees. I think the angel trees are really fun. They have them at WalMarts. They have them at tribal locations. If you want to get a little more personal, if you're native in any way, there's always angel trees at tribal locations, and you can drop off the toys. And nowadays, things are really specific, which is really cool. Nowadays on the angel trees, which is basically there's these little notes on the angel trees and it tells you the kid's name and it tells you their age. And it used to just be like it would used to just tell you their name and age, and then people would just start getting like random gifts to this, like say this 10-year-old boy, right? So this 10-year-old boy is just getting random crazy shit, right? Nowadays they have it personalized. So not only on the little list when you're getting an angel tree kid, right? It tells you exactly what that kid wants. For example, like you'll have like a 14-year-old girl and she's like, "Oh, this is from just for example, like, oh, they want some makeup, they want some nail polish, they want a specific perfume, they want a specific like squishmallow or something." Like there's like it's more detailed now, and I really like that more than the way it used to be where you would just kind of guess just based on their age
You would just buy
and
based
gender.
on yeah.
Age and gender, that's literally it, and now it's like they actually say exactly what they want. "Oh, I want 2 Nerf guns, and I want a bike." I want because I want this specific candy and this specific like hoodie or something. Just light examples. I like now that there's a exact. They can tell you exactly what they're for Christmas, and I think that's amazing. I think that the less fortunate should be able to tell you exactly what they want. No questions asked. They shouldn't just be like, "Oh, you're a boy and you're 10 years old. Here's Hot Wheels and something for Minecraft that they probably don't even like." You know what I mean?
$20 Fortnite cards and Roblox Robux, and that
Oh,
is
that
all.
kid doesn't have internet or the TV or a computer. So, you know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying.
No, no, no. I'm talking about that's like the ones that I've seen, like for say 8-year-old boy.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
all
yeah.
just it's
Say
all
yeah,
Fortnite,
say
Minecraft, and
say
Roblox.
it yeah, say it's specific, but say, like, nowadays, and say if they're not specific, you're gonna get like I said, you're gonna be sending this 10-year-old boy shit he can't even use.
Yeah.
Or stuff that he doesn't like. So I love that things are specific. So yeah, if you can, donating to nonprofits during this time is awesome. Donating to like animal shelters during this time is really good because this is the time they kind of start running out of supplies. Just depending on the thing. But around this time and around January as well, guys, a lot of people, a lot of families do the shitty thing where they adopt a dog for Christmas as a Christmas present, and then by 2 weeks after Christmas, the dog is right back to the pound because the family can't handle it. It's really sad. So yeah, make sure you're donating to your animal shelters, food and everything like that. Make sure you go get some children off of the angel tree. Those really help directly more to the children than just donating to fucking a Walmart nonprofit that is a giant scam. It's just a tax write off for these corporations. So if you do, make sure you're donating direct gifts, direct food, or direct things for pets. That's a good way to like really help during this time because you're going to get so many donations to all of these major corporations and it's just a giant tax write off for them. It doesn't really matter like it would if you directly bought something for somebody.
Correct.
It's going directly to that person because it has to for legal reasons. You know what I mean? So yeah, food is a very big thing during this time, whether it's dog food or actual people food. And angel trees. I think that's
Yeah,
very important.
buy a meal for somebody, or
Yeah.
buy those meal bags.
Yeah, the meal bags, those are really good. I know Sprouts does meal bags where it gets the little bags gets donated directly to local shelters wherever your local Sprouts is at. Um that's for just an example. I'm sure there's other spin-off of chains that do that. But yeah, like I said, try to be as locally giving as you can because you want to make sure you're affecting the people near you in some way, shape, or form. That's always a really big thing. Like I said, fuck the corporations during this time. It's just tax write-offs. And then that kind of goes into our next topic where we're talking about emotions and feelings. Um, I know around this time, a lot of people get really overwhelmed, like just so overwhelmed. I know during this time, seasonal depression is rampant.
Yeah,
It's
because people got families they don't like, and then other people don't have families anymore. There's a lot that goes into it, and a lot
not
of
even
people
not even that like that
feel
that's just like
different.
regular feelings and stuff, but the seasonal depression is not getting enough, not being outside enough because the time change. The days are shorter, it gets darker quicker, people get gloomy and glum. Winter when it's really snowy in certain places, people get cabin fever. They get held up because they can't really do anything because it's like snowstorm. You know what I mean? Um, it gets crazy. I think talking about the overwhelming aspect of holidays, it boils down to the also perfect Christmas. Not having family, or having family that you just don't care to see. That can be sad, whether you're coping with that or not. Um, Losing loved ones or not or have lost loved ones and they're not there for the special time of year. That also goes, like I said, that's the pressures of a perfect holiday. And the more you dissect that and the more you take that away out of your life, the better you're going to feel because you know that if you keep telling yourself like you can still have the magic of the holiday season, but you can take the pressure off yourself because it really is just another day. When in reality and the realistic standpoints, it is just a winter solstice. It is just when the longest day of the year comes and it's a seasonal change. That's all. All the things with Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, any other religion you put into it, Santa. It's just consumer pressure. It's capitalist pressure. It's religious pressure. It's all there. It's all under the same little tiny umbrella that causes you the feelings of missing out. It causes the feelings of feeling very depressed because you're not being included, or you're missing out on something, or you don't have enough money to give, or you have, you're not getting presents, or you don't have this special someone to spend it with. And that was something, me personally, I battled for so many years, because I always seemed like Christmas and wintertime was so special. Like, I did make it so special. And I wanted to experience that with somebody, how much joy I could bring somebody this holiday season, And you want to feel that love and be loved back. And I think that's also something that a lot of people struggle with, is the feeling of not being loved back when it comes to the holiday time. Because you can give gifts and give your money to charity or help out in any way you can, but at the end of the day, if like you don't have somebody reciprocating that to you in a sense of like even like small gifts, you feel very lonely, you feel very isolated, it makes you feel sad. If you don't have any family to celebrate it with, it also kind of make you feel isolated and sad. And that causes a lot of depression and just misery, and a bunch of just awful, awful, awful feelings that make you feel so alone in the world. Um, and then you just think that all of it's a crock of shit and it's hopeless, and it's hard. I think during this time specifically, I think it's very hard for a lot of people. Um, Drinking rates go up, ending yourself rates go up.
That
Um,
is true.
and it's hard. It's hard because of the pressure of the holiday season. You just feel so, like I said, isolated, alone. It's not worth it. It's whatever. Like, and that's not true. It's not true. And that's the biggest outtake of all of this, is that it is not true. Because like I said, it is really, in hindsight and factual
Factual
written.
hindsight and factual hindsight.
No, in facts, it is 100%. Literally, the only reason is because the season is changing, and somehow hundreds and hundreds of years ago, it turned into a holiday, and then that turned into another corporate holiday, and now it is just capitalistic big holiday greed. And when you take all that out and you think, oh, it's just another fucking day, you can make it through and you can get through it. Because I've been there. I've been there, just isolated, alone, and feeling so fucking sad and on the verge all the time. Like, I trust me. I know exactly how it feels to feel the shittiest parts of this season. But reminding yourself that it's just like you can have fun, and it's just another day of like, woo, Christmas, woo, capitalism, woo, greed. It's
Woo.
true. Yeah,
Yeah.
it goes back to big holiday, which is the whole fucking point of this goddamn episode, is it makes you feel like fucking shit. It makes you feel like shit. For what? For what? Do you have an answer for that, Stony? For what?
For big holiday.
For a big holiday. For a big fucking holiday. And you have, along with big holiday, as we kind of shift from a little less to feely aspect, because you guys know exactly all that shit. The big holiday, it goes along with exactly what Scrooge is written about. Any
Yeah.
Scrooge, the fucking greedy ass fucking CEO motherfucker rich guy who will not give, who will not celebrate cheer, who's just like mine, 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 mine. And then he's visited by the ghosts of Christmas, and this is what's just gonna happen: is you're gonna die fucking alone with no joy or anyone, and all anyone can say is that you're a bad person and you're a piece of shit because you didn't do anything. You don't want to be that person. You don't want to be that person. Like I said, it doesn't matter if you have all the money in the fucking world, give the money. There's always more money. There's always more money in this fucking world. give as much as you can if you have the ability to, because you don't want to be remembered as a fucking Scrooge. I'll tell you that. Absolutely fucking not. I mean, if you do, like, fuck you. You're probably a narcissist piece of shit anyways. Fuck you. You're part of the big fucking holiday. Goddamn big ass CEOs doing all that shit. I just like, it's bad. It's so bad that they take advantage of this time. I mean, any other time, capitalist greed is just surrounding us and fucking overcoming us no matter what. But especially during fucking holiday seasons. We talked about it with Halloween. We talked about it with Valentine's Day. And Stoney's the ultimate boss
Big
is
holiday.
the winter season. Jesus Christ. Like,
Big holiday.
so what do you think your biggest ick is during this time? Of like, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about like icks. Just like
I mean, my biggest
cringy.
one is that everyone is required to have a gift for somebody. I hate that.
I mean, if you believe in that.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, it's one of those things where, like, if you go somewhere, say you go to like a family Christmas thing or something like that, and you don't
You
like
feel like
X,
you
Y,
have
and Z,
yeah. Is it that you
you are
feel like if
now
someone gives you a gift, you have to give them a gift back?
kind of, but then the other part of me is like,
Oh,
well,
fuck them people.
fuck them kids.
Fuck them kids. Yeah, no, I get it.
Fuck her and her bad little kids too.
I meant like your biggest ick about like what people do during this time.
Well, we talked about it, getting married.
Oh, getting engaged.
Yes, getting engaged.
That's a big ick for you. Getting engaged, like having you're like, cool, you're engaged on Christmas. Fucking how
Yeah,
are
be
you?
cool like the rest of us and get engaged on a real holiday.
Leif Erickson's Day. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Hurricane,
Uh,
hurricane, hurricane.
fucking the SpongeBob meme. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was
It's
thinking.
Leif Erikson Day.
My biggest ick is when it comes to this time, I would say it's a little hard for me to think. My brain just did a train derailment right now. I literally just like my train of thought just fell off the rails and went away from me and I just literally almost forgot what we were talking about. Jesus Christ. I hate when that happens. Don't you? Don't you just hate when that fucking happens? Like you're like you're about to like say something with somebody else and then all of a sudden your brain goes, "Hmm? What?"
Mhm.
No,
Yep,
that we're talking about dogs over here. I don't even that's what they're talking
correct.
about. Yeah, you're not even in the topic of conversation. God, I hate when that happens because I had a really good one and now my brain's like, don't think about that. I would have to say the really cringy white people Christmas. And I say white people Christmas as in like uber religious, super, but mix it with Santa. Um, but the over the top. Oh, no, 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 no. My biggest ick when people share every single fucking thing they got for Christmas. I hate that. Like on social media. Like when people take it used to be a really big thing when we were in high school and like Snapchat and Instagram
Oh, yeah, 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 take pictures
was
of
like
all the gifts they got.
yes, and they
Yes,
like there's a fucking every slide on Instagram is a picture of something that they got.
yes, yes.
I
I remember
that
before the slides where it was just you got one picture, so you tried to get everything in one picture.
yes, yeah, yeah.
And you know how I remember that? Because I remember doing that, okay?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying like I'm not gonna be hypocritical here, but I think that's a biggest cringe, especially
It's
now,
so cringe.
is like, oh, you click on someone's Snapchat story and they're literally like, instead of enjoying the day and like opening all your gifts every time they open
Oh,
something,
you wanna show it off. You gotta
it's a
show it off.
yes, it's a picture of it's the same thing of like your phone eats first. Granted, don't get me wrong, I fucking love pictures of food and I love when people take a good picture of food. But, like, come on, like, sometimes you just gotta enjoy yourself and actually just eat your food instead. Um, but the picture when people take the picture of the box unopened, and then they take a picture of the box opened. So it's like, you're tapping through people's Snapchat stories, and it's like, wrapped, unwrapped, unwrapped, and you're like, "Alright, cool." And it is a keeping up with the Joneses showing off aspect at that point. I think
That's
that is very
consumerism as a society.
I think it is very, very, very cringy. Kids can do whatever they want, so I'm not gonna hate on kids, but if you're a fucking 18 plus, you're an adult, that's fucking cringy as fuck. Put the fucking phone down.
Stop being a child. Stop showing off everything you get.
Stop it.
Stop
Hey,
trying to flex. Everything does not need to be a flex.
yes! When it's grown okay, even, like, 18-year-olds, they don't really know better, maybe they're still in high school. Let's say, like, you're 30, and you're fucking over here being like, "Look at this shit that I got,
Eh.
cringe." Well, cringe, it's fucking cringy. I fucking hate that shit. I hate that shit more than ever is people like, flexing is, like, cool and fine and, like, sure. But, like, flexing Christmas presents is another level of cringe. I think that is, like, a high level of cringe. It'd be different if it's something that you're, like, so fucking cool about, or if you're doing something because I don't wanna say too cringe because like, it's something I might do but might not do. If you're promoting the business of something that you got from, like, say you, like, shopped small. So for example, I got Stoney a really cool not custom made, but, a headphone stand that was from a small business that he got to open early. And say I wanted to take a picture of that, but I wanted to make sure I tagged the business page and the thing. I think that's totally fine. I think that's totally fine. I think taking pictures of your gifts and tagging the businesses in it is perfectly fine. I don't think taking pictures of your gifts and just being like, "Look what I got." I think that's cringy. I think that's two different things. But that's also coming from like a social media person as well. Like I promote a lot of businesses and a lot of small businesses. And I like to share that, hey, this is where I got this from. They're a small business, support them. I think that's not cringy at all, you know? But I think if you're doing it out of like just purely because you want to show off and you want Susie B over there to think you're so cool because you're showing off all the Fortnite V-Bucks you got for Christmas.
Fortnite Battle Pass.
And you're fucking 27 and you're flexing for Susie B so she sees all the V-Bucks that you got for Christmas that your mommy bought you, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Not really flex. Not really flex. But I mean like people like I said people can do their own, but I think that's the top cringiest thing is people flexing gifts without like flexing gifts in the bad thing, not the showing your gifts off and tagging companies in it to like tell people where you bought it or to help small businesses. I think that's fine. But yeah, I remember that was a huge thing when social media first came out. Was just like every Christmas you would know exactly what people got, and I was guilty of doing it too. I remember when I got an Xbox 360, I fucking told everybody about it.
Oh,
I put
when
this
you
shit
got
everywhere.
when you got a 360?
Oh yeah, when I got my Assassin's Creed, oh, told everyone. I got Black Ops. Woo! Fucking told everybody about it. I was like, we fuck, and then you would get replies. Hey, we're gonna play. What's your gamer tag? What's your gamer tag? Yeah, yeah. I was that person though too. But it also, like I said, that's innocent kid fun. I think as an adult, it's very cringy. I think another big cringe. I'm not on Facebook, so I don't see these anymore. But I love when people read them out loud on TikTok. I think it's so fucking funny. The mom Facebook posts
Yes.
the day of Christmas or the day after Christmas, where they're like taking 300 photos of
Mhm.
their family opening gifts,
Opening shit, yeah.
and some of them are blurry. They just don't care. They just put them all up on there. And it's like 300 fucking photos. And it's an album called Christmas 2023 or whatever, and
Very
then the
true.
family name, and it's literally them, and it's them making their kids in their all matching pajamas sit there for a minute and take a picture every time before they open a gift, while they're opening the gift, as the gift is open and ready, and then they show off the gift. And then they have this long ass paragraph that's like, Jesse, May, and Colton have had a wonderful Christmas.
Mhm.
They got to open up so many gifts. And then they proceed to like list every gift that they bought for their kid to like show their other mom friends that they had an amazing Christmas. The fucking voice you do all the time that just makes me laugh. Stoney does this bit and it's fucking hilarious, but it's so true. It's so true.
John Matthew and Michael Luke had such a great Christmas. They got to show off that they are not only the best angels in my eyes, but also in Santa's eyes. They both got brand new Ford Raptor trucks.
They are 8 years old.
They
Fucking
are going to be so good when they play varsity lacrosse this next season. So we had to make sure that us and Santa talk this one out.
that and then you add in the fucking shit of like we
I
want
do
to
that bit a
thank
lot, yeah.
we want to thank Jesus for being the reason for the season.
Yes. And remember, gift giving is cool, but Jesus is the reason for the
The
season.
season. God, those posts made me fucking laugh so hard. And it literally is another flex, but it's a mom flex. It's literally like showing you, which goes back to what we talked about, the pressures of a perfect holiday. It's them on Facebook fucking
Flexing.
showing off
They are
their other mom friends.
peacocking.
Yeah, showing off to their other mom friends that we had a fucking amazing Christmas and I got so many gifts for my kids. What did you do for your Christmas? And then in turn, it goes back to the perception part where you're viewing that as another mom going, I didn't do good enough. Whereas your kids are fucking having a blast in the living room,
Yeah.
screaming
Not
and
even caring
laughing.
because they don't care. They don't
They
know
don't know any
anything.
better because you're comparing yourself to others. We're all guilty of it, but I think that shit, the mom Facebook groups and shit like that is so fucking funny and peak cringe. I think that's fucking peak cringe. People who are like, I'm a fucking wolf, like growling and shit and ooh oohing. I don't think that shit's as cringy as fucking Facebook mom groups. That's my fucking 2 cents on that. But yeah, that's true. That's it. It all goes back to that, and I think that's cringy. You got anything else that's like super cringy this holiday season?
I'm sure there's probably a lot, but not anything I can think of. I
Okay.
know it when I see it.
Yeah,
It's
you
one of
know
those
when you
things.
see it.
Like,
You're like,
also the cringe thing, and this is just me, is people that like go insane in their yard for like decorations. I
my
hate that.
entire
I hate it.
childhood
I
growing
know.
up.
I know, and that's why it's so funny to me because like anytime I see that, I just go, ew. Like it's just
Yeah.
it gives me such ick because I'm like, you not only are spending thousands of dollars on something that just sits there and does nothing,
For other people.
and then you're paying to have that thing there because it uses so much
But
extra
not
electricity.
not nowadays
No,
because
yes, nowadays it still
no,
does.
not nowadays because there's like special
I don't care if it's
electric.
LEDs or
No, they're
whatever,
just
but
like
you're still drawing
nowadays it's
power.
not as bad because you're still drawing power, yes, but also there's a lot of energy efficient shit that are even more expensive, but people buy it. But yeah, it's I can't say that because that's how I grew up, but it is excessive. Griswold Christmas, the millions of lights on the hearts that are like blinding your neighbors.
Yep.
I think it's fun, but also like when you live in it, as somebody who's lived in it, it's a tad bit insane because you think of holy fuck. I could have that could have that was always a really big thing for mine. Is like, oh, that could have paid for one of my college books, or oh, hey,
Yeah.
that could have paid for a Christmas present. But instead, it's a peacocking, it's a showing off. But yeah, growing up in a household like that with a Christmas tree in every fucking room, 3 Christmas trees in the living room. I showed Stony. I literally was like, "Look, and everyone's themed," which I get it. Like I get it. You want to decorate and you want to have fun, and it's been years and years of collecting Christmas pieces to like make it as big as it is, right? I get it. But you think of like all the money into that, you're like, wow, not worth it. Not worth it. But to each their own, you know what I mean? Like I can't hate on it because I think it was a funny quirk.
A
But
quirk.
yeah, I think it was like it's funny, but like growing up at the time, I was like, this is excessive and dumb, and what the fuck is happening? Like, oh, okay, cool. Um, but yeah, I think the holiday time is very crazy, and I love it. But you guys gotta also remember to like limit yourself with like access. When it turns to, like if it comes to like money things or it comes to consumer things, like whether you're like viewing constant content of other people's holiday things, you're gonna feel left out. You're gonna start having those like feelings of feeling left out or having doubt or thinking that you're not doing enough for the holiday season. There's a lot of pressures with it. Don't allow that. Limit yourself. Know that like what you're doing is like you're gonna have a good Christmas for yourself if you make it. Good holiday
Correct.
season for yourself if you make it. Um, I'm very lucky now that I have someone very special to me that I get to spend an actual holiday season with. And the fact that also like Stony does I'm talking about somebody else. My dog.
It's not me. It's somebody else.
Me and my dogs. I can really give them a good Christmas this year. No, I'm very lucky to have somebody. This is our third Christmas together. The first two were not the best, honestly. We didn't really celebrate at all. And I didn't have those feelings of feeling kind of left out or not making it special for you, kind of put the pressure on me. I really did. I felt that. This year, I'm making it a big part of us. Like not a big part, but like I want to make it special for you. I want to, like I said, we finally have a Christmas tree and I feel more cozy and comfortable and I'm finally able to put presents under the tree for you and wrap them and let you unwrap it. And I'm trying to make this Christmas and every Christmas after this, every holiday after this, for Stony special because you, like I said, you grew up in such a not a magical holiday thing, so that's why you don't think this is fun. And I'm trying to kind of give you a little magic back. That's like what I really want from like for you is to give you that like little magic back to where you actually are like, oh yeah, no, this is really fun. And we've talked about it, and you're actually looking forward to sitting down and opening presents together and being like having an intimate moment and things like that.
Correct. That is very correct. I am looking forward to it just purely because I have not really ever cared that much about Christmas, to be
That
honest.
or like something always goes wrong.
Yes, that too.
Someone always fights on Christmas. I mean, with any like family shit, something always is like annoying or you don't want to be there. And the fact that it's like gets to be you and I, not necessarily it doesn't have to be like on Christmas. You guys can do this any time of this winter environment. You know what I mean? But the fact that we get to sit down together, we get to have a little intimate thing. I'm gonna make ourselves a little dinner. Um, slowly open presents together and like really cherish the moment and like take in um kind of just
It's
celebrate.
definitely going to be one of those where like you want to open everything as you get it. Like
Yes,
you want to open it. Like you want to
I
see what everything's inside of it.
yeah, I spoiled Stony this holiday season. It's technically our first. Granted, we've been together for 3 Christmases already. Um, but it's our first like actual one where I'm like, okay, no, we're having a tree. I'm not gonna make you decorate the outside of the house with lights, but we're having a fucking tree, and I'm gonna put presents underneath it and wrap them. And you're wrapping gifts for me, and like, yeah, it's an exchange of love in that sort of thing and monetary value, but um actually getting to like have you feel that with somebody that you are married to that is so madly in love with you, that is so obsessed with you in every way, shape, or form is you've never really like had that. And I've never had that. So it makes this a lot more special, to be honest.
That is very true. And I'm glad that I get to spend this with you.
It's so sweet. Thank you very much. The very logical. That is true.
I love how this episode started with big holiday to us like talking about how much we love each other.
We do love each other so much, and that's also like it's the hope for other people too. It's like if you don't feel that magic or that sense, or like it may not be the right person, it may not be the right time, but you'll have it, you'll get there, and you'll feel exactly what Stony and I are talking about. And if you do have it, you can make it special for that person. You can make it special for yourself. Even if you're by yourself, you can fucking make it special. I think what I used to do is I used to buy all my favorite shit and I would wrap it and then unwrap it for myself. Just
Yes.
because I want, because the feeling of opening something is great. And even if you like wrap shit, you kind of forget what's in the boxes. So then you're like kind of being like, oh yeah, I forgot I bought that for myself, you know? That's another way to do it. Like if you're by yourself, to do that. Or like I said, you can go spend it with other people, whether it's people at restaurants. That's a form of gift giving is tipping people good. You can go watch a fucking cool ass movie. Do a little me time for you. You know what I mean? That's another way to like treat yourself and love yourself and do all your favorite things on days where you know you might be sad. Like days that like especially when it comes to like the holiday time, days when other people are like doing this and doing that. Like no, you take that extra time to yourself um and give yourself your own holiday. I think that's very important. I think that's very, very, very important. Then, like I said, then it's just another regular day, or it's a little special treat date for you. You go out and do your little favorite things. Doesn't have to be on the actual day, but you know what I mean. But yeah, Stoney and I love each other very, 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 very much.
Very much so.
Infinity amount of times. The limit does
Oh,
not exist.
a lot of muches.
A lot of muches of love. But do you have anything else to add to this big holiday episode? We hit about 2 hours almost. It's not
Yeah,
bad.
which
Not a
is
lot of
insane.
not a lot of editing. We just told all the stories and little ranting and well, yeah, we
Nope.
missed out what we talked about um how we found out Santa wasn't real.
It's all right.
I
Mine, I
think
kind of told about it.
I think I just used my big brain and goes, that didn't add up. You guys are liars. I actually don't remember, to be honest.
She
But
still
yeah,
believes in Santa. Don't let her lie to you.
I do. I do, except for Santa brings me cock instead.
What? Okay, weirdo.
You know the song? I saw mommy fucking Santa Claus. That's how it goes.
Sure.
Oh, but yeah. Anyways, I think that's it. I don't think we have anything else to add.
I don't either.
I got something else to add.
What?
Fuck big holiday.
Fuck big holiday.
Major fuck big holiday. We talked about anything and everything about it. So yeah, fuck capitalism. Fuck consumerism. Fuck big holiday.
Correct.
Fuck. I'm not gonna say fuck the winter holidays because I enjoy the winter holidays if it's done right. Okay, I'm done here. My brain is slowly fizzling out.
Yep, so is mine. That was a episode.
Sorry, you guys.
Yeah, we're just kind of rambled. Crazy. Who would have thought?
So where can the good people and the cheerful holiday people find you,
They
Stony?
can find me everywhere at Stony Robbins or at Stony Robbins _. What about you, Conway?
They can find me at CONWAY'S.com. That is Conway, TITTY.com. That's where you can find all the links. We also have a website now, theRamblinPodcast.com. That is where you can listen anywhere, watch anywhere. There's our social links for that. Blah, 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 blah. Come hang out with us on Twitch. We live stream multiple times a week. Sony plays with me quite frequently. That's where you can live chat with us and actually like hang out if you want to like ask us questions or get to know us or recommend anything really. We also highly recommend you guys send us podcast episode topics if you'd like. You can send that to our DMs or you can email us at theramblingpodcast@gmail.com. Yeah. Other than that, I think that's it. I think that's enough, Stony.
I think that's enough as well. Goodbye.
You guys stay safe, stay hydrated, get some sleep, and we'll see you guys on the next one. All right? All right. Bye-bye.